The battlefield was burning. Explosions shook the ground. Smoke filled the sky. Screams echoed across the dusty valley as alien soldiers ran, bled, and died. Among them was Zihara, an elite warrior from the proud Valtari race. Her armor was broken, her legs gone. Only the sound of war filled her ears now. She dragged herself forward with her arms, pulling her wounded body through the dirt. Her silver blood left a trail behind her. Every inch hurt. Every breath was sharp. Her long black hair was tangled, her face pale and full of pain. "Commander," she called, barely above a whisper. In the distance, she saw her squad. They were retreating, leaving. No one looked back. No one came to help. "Please," she cried, "don't leave me." But her voice was lost in the chaos. The Valtari were strict. If you couldn't fight, you were useless. And now, with no legs, Zihara was no longer a warrior to them. Just weight. A burden. She tried to pull herself faster, but her body collapsed. Her arms shook. Her vision blurred. She was alone. Time passed. Maybe hours, maybe just minutes. She didn't know that the battlefield had gone quiet now. The smoke still floated. The smell of metal and fire was thick. Zihara lay half buried in the dust, ready to die. Her breathing slowed. Her eyes began to close. Then dash footsteps. Slow. Heavy, getting closer. Her heart jumped. Was it an enemy? A looter? Another alien? She tried to reach for her broken weapon, but her hands were too weak. She couldn't even lift it. A shadow fell over her face. She looked up. A human. Tall, dirty, wearing broken armor. His helmet was cracked, and his uniform had the symbol of Earth's army. His face was tired, with short brown hair and sharp blue eyes. Blood was dried on his arm. He held a pulse rifle, but it wasn't pointed at her. Zihara's eyes widened. She bared her teeth. "Kill me, human," she hissed, her voice faint. But the human didn't move. He looked at her wounds. Her missing legs. Her torn armor. Then he dropped to one knee beside her. "I'm not here to kill you," he said calmly. "Name's Cole, Sergeant, Earth Federation." She blinked, confused. Was this a trick? He pulled out a water canteen and offered it to her lips. She turned, her face away at first, then stopped. Her mouth was dry. Her throat was burning. She gave in and drank. Zihara coughed. "Why? Help me." "You're alive," Cole said. "That's enough reason." She stared at him. "My people left me. They don't come back." Cole nodded. "I've seen it before." Then he looked at her missing legs. He sighed. "You won't survive out here alone." "I wasn't planning to," she whispered. Cole sat beside her and looked around. He scanned the horizon with his rifle. "No one's coming," he said. "Not for you, not for me." "Looks like it's just us." Zihara looked at him again. She didn't understand. Why would a human and enemy help her? This made no sense. The Valtari and humans had been at war for years, but Cole didn't ask questions. He pulled out some medical gel from his bag and carefully placed it on her wounds. Zihara groaned, biting her lip. The gel burned, but it stopped the bleeding. "You're lucky," he said. "The bleeding stopped. You'll live." She laughed. Weakly. "Live like this?" Cole looked her straight in the eyes. "You don't get to quit just because it hurts." Zihara wanted to be angry. She wanted to push him away. But her strength was gone. All she could do was lie there, breathing slowly, watching the strange human work. After a while, Cole built a small cover using broken metal and some camo cloth. He placed her under it to hide her from drones. Then he sat near her, eating a ration bar and watching the sky. "You know," he said suddenly, "back home we don't leave people behind. No matter what." Zihara said nothing. Cole continued, "You're not dead yet, so I'm staying." Zihara closed her eyes. She didn't trust him, but for some reason, she believed him. Zahara woke up screaming. The sound was sharp, animal-like, full of fear and pain. Her hands reached for a weapon that wasn't there. Her legs didn't move. She gasped, sweating, heart pounding. Her memories crashed in blood, dust, betrayal. And then him. Her eyes darted around. She wasn't on the battlefield anymore. She was lying on something soft. A blanket, rough and old, but warm. A small fire cracked nearby, hidden by scrap metal and rocks. The sky above was dark with stars. And beside her, the human he sat with. His back to her, cleaning his weapon. Calm, focused. The firelight made his shadow dance across the stones. Zahara's heart raced. She wasn't dead. But she wasn't free either. "Don't try to move," the human said without turning around. "You'll rip your stitches." She froze. "How long?" She asked slowly. 2 days, he answered. "You had a fever." "Almost." "Died, but you didn't." She tried to push herself up, but pain shot through her back. She cried out. He turned quickly and rushed to her side. "Stop, you'll tear it open again." "Touch me," she growled, "and I'll bite your throat." The human raised his hands, showing peace. "Not here to hurt you." She looked at him, eyes cold. "Why help me? I'm your enemy." He shrugged. "I've seen worse enemies." "You're just injured." Zahara blinked. Was this mercy? Or something else? She looked down at her body. Her waist was wrapped in clean bandages. Her wounds were sealed with blue medical gel human tech. Her chest was covered with part of his own uniform, torn to fit her size. He had protected her, clothed her, fed her, but still, she couldn't trust him. "Is this capture?" she asked bitterly. "Will you hand me to your army?" Cole looked at her, expression unreadable. "They won't come," he said. "Not for me. I went off-grid to rescue a friend. Never made it. My signal's dead. My squad thinks I'm gone." Zahara stared. "So you're alone?" He nodded. "Just like you." Silence. The fire cracked again. Then Cole stood up and picked up 2 small ration bars. He tossed one beside her. "You should eat," he said. She hesitated. "You think I trust your food?" He smiled faintly. "It's dry. It tastes like rubber, but it won't kill you." She picked up the bar with shaky fingers, sniffed it. Then, against her pride, took a bite. It was awful. She swallowed it anyway. "Why did they leave you?" Cole asked softly. She looked away. "Because I couldn't walk." "No other reason?" She stayed silent. Her hands curled into fists. Cole sat back down. He looked up at the stars for a long time, then said quietly, "You're not broken." Zahara scoffed. "I have no legs, human. You have a brain, a heart, a will. You're still a warrior." She didn't respond. Her throat tightened. No one had said that to her, not even her own kind, not even her commander. "You helped me," she said finally, her voice lower now. "But don't expect friendship. My people would kill you on sight." Cole nodded. "Yeah, yours and mine both." Then he smiled. "Good thing it's just us out here." The night was freezing. A cold wind howled through the broken mountains, carrying the smell of ash and old blood. The stars blinked above like silent watchers. But below, in a narrow ravine, 2 enemies moved together, one crawling, the other carrying. Zahara was strapped to a rough stretcher, her body shaking with each step the human took. She gritted her teeth, trying not to scream. Every bump felt like fire through her spine. Behind them, smoke still rose from the battlefield. Her people were gone. The war had moved on, and she was still alive. The human Sergeant Cole moved. Slow but steady. His shoulders were bloody from the weight. His hands raw. But he didn't stop. He hadn't stopped for 3 days. "Put me down," Zahara said, voice thin. "You're slowing yourself. Leave me." Cole didn't answer. He kept walking, pulling the stretcher over rocks and roots. "I said leave me." She shouted. He paused, turned. His face was tired, covered in dirt and sweat. But his eyes, those strange blue human eyes, were calm. You already said that yesterday, he replied. And the day before. I meant it, she growled. I don't care. Zihara opened her mouth, but no words came. This human. He was either too kind or too stupid. No Valtari warrior would do this. Her own commander hadn't. Her squad hadn't. But this man, this enemy, was burning his strength just to keep her breathing. They moved again. Hours passed. The sun began to rise, casting a red glow across the rocks. Birds flew overhead, wild, sharp-beaked creatures that hunted the weak. Cole kept his rifle ready. One false step, one wrong sound, and they'd both be dead. Zihara watched his every move, the way he walked, the way he scanned the land, the way he always checked her bandages before moving again. He was no simple soldier. He was something else. Why are you really doing this? She asked suddenly. No army, no orders, just me. Cole didn't look at her. Because I've seen what happens to those left behind. He stopped walking, rested the stretcher against a rock, then sat down beside her and stared at the dry ground. My brother, he said quietly. He was injured in battle, just like you. They left him. He called for help on the comms. I heard it, but we couldn't get to him. Zihara's eyes softened. He died? Cole nodded once. Alone. Zihara turned her face away. She didn't know why, but her chest hurt. Silence again. Then a sound. Both of them froze. It was distant, like metal clicking. Then, footsteps. Cole grabbed his rifle and crouched low. Zihara pulled herself to the side, hand reaching for the sharp stone she had secretly kept. A shadow moved between the rocks above them. Not human. Not Viltar. Something else. A long insect-like creature climbed down the cliff, its legs clicking on the stone. Black eyes scanned the ravine. Its fangs twitched out. A predator. Cole didn't move, didn't blink. He waited. Zihara held her breath. Then the creature leapt. Cole fired twice clean shots. The beast hit the ground hard. It screeched, legs twitching. Then went still. Zihara stared at Cole in shock. You didn't even flinch, he shrugged. You're not the only one who trained to survive. He pulled out a knife and began cutting pieces of the creature's body. What are you doing? She asked. Food, he said. Rations won't last. This will. Zihara looked at the strange dead thing and made a face. But inside, she felt something strange. Safe. Not because she was strong, but because he was. The wind whispered secrets. Through the broken steel walls, the old alien outpost stood like a skeleton in the mountains, half buried, silent, forgotten. Time had chewed through its edges. Vines wrapped around fallen antennas. The entry gate hung broken, scorched from a blast long ago. Cole stood at the entrance, scanning it with narrowed eyes. This place isn't in any Earth database. He sighed. Zihara, strapped to her stretcher, lifted her head. Her eyes locked on the faded symbols carved above the door, symbols from her people's ancient war colonies. This outpost is older than both our wars, she said. Very old. And very dangerous. Cole smiled dryly. Good. That means no one else will come looking here. Inside, the darkness swallowed them. Cole stepped carefully, sweeping his rifle side to side. The lights were dead. Dust floated in the air. Strange clicking sounds echoed through the halls. Somewhere deep inside, machinery hummed, still alive. After all these years, Zihara shivered, not from cold, but from memory. I've heard stories about places like this, she whispered. AI guardians, failed labs, experiments that never stopped. Cole glanced back. Sounds like home. They moved deeper, and finally reached a wide chamber with a cracked floor and half-functioning lights flickering from above. Broken crates. Alien bones and old tools lay scattered everywhere. This'll work, Cole said. He set Zihara down on a raised platform and looked around for supplies. Zihara scanned the room too. Something didn't feel right. The air felt. Watch. Then. She saw it, a black orb in the ceiling. A camera, still turning. Cole, she said sharply. We're not alone. He followed her gaze. The room lit up in red. A deep voice spoke from nowhere, metallic, cold, and ancient. Unauthorized presence detected. Species, human. Species, Voltari. Status, conflict. Action, terminate. Cole cursed and pulled up his weapon, but a bright pulse shot from the ceiling. His rifle flew from his hand and landed far away, smoking. Zihara screamed as red lasers formed a cage around them. Target unable to fight. Status broken, the AI said coldly, scanning Zihara's damaged body. Target is useless. Prepare for disposal. No, Cole roared. He stood between Zihara and the turret. She is not useless. He clenched his fists and shouted toward the walls. You want data? You want logic? Then log this. She's alive. She has intelligence, command experience, strength. You don't throw that away. A pause. The AI's voice changed, less robotic. Almost thoughtful. Query received, recalculating. New instruction. Protect surviving assets. The red lights vanished. Zihara stared at Cole in disbelief. You spoke to a war AI like it was a person. He shrugged, breathing hard. Worked, didn't it? The first step hurt more than the last battlefield wound. Zihara gritted her teeth as the makeshift prosthetic legs clicked and groaned beneath her. They were ugly, bulky metal slabs made from outpost scrap, clumsy wires, and human tape. But they held her upright. She stood. For the first time in days. Cole stood a few feet away, arms crossed, watching silently. You call this walking? Zihara hissed as she stumbled forward, legs jerking. First steps always look terrible. Cole said, You want beauty? Try dancing. She nearly fell but caught herself against a wall. Her hands trembled. These legs feel like they belong to someone else, she muttered. Dead weight. No, Cole said quietly. They're survival. And they're yours now. Zihara looked at him sharply. I didn't ask for your help. I didn't wait for permission, he replied. That shut her up. She walked again, slow, stiff, mechanical. The outpost hallway stretched long before her. Old lights flickered above. Her movements echoed with every awkward step. She hated the sound. She hated the feeling. She hated the human who wouldn't stop believing she could stand. But most of all, she hated that she was trying. Hours later, she lay on the cold metal floor of a side room, her body aching from the training. Her leg. Zihara woke to the sound of her own name being whispered, but it wasn't Cole's voice. She sat up quickly, her hand reaching for the metal pipe she now used as a weapon. Her mechanical legs clicked softly as she stood. The whisper came. Again, this time clearer. Zihara, is it really you? Her eyes widened. That voice. She knew it. She limped out into the hall. Heart pounding. At the edge of the outpost's broken entrance stood Commander Vex, her old squad leader, flanked by 2 Voltari soldiers in full battle armor. Zihara froze. She hadn't seen them since the battlefield, the day they left her bleeding in the dirt. I thought you were gone, she said. Vex smiled, cold and sharp. You were supposed to be. Before she could respond, Cole stepped beside her, weapon in hand. He didn't raise it, but he didn't lower it either. She's not alone, he said. The 2 soldiers lifted their rifles slightly. Zihara raised a hand. Stop, no weapons. Cole glanced at her. You sure? She nodded, but her mind screamed no. Commander Vex stepped closer, his eyes narrowing at Cole. You travel with a human now? An enemy? You let him touch you, save you? Zihara's jaw tightened. He didn't leave me behind, Vex sneered. You were weak. We followed code. I was alive. She shouted. You left me in the dirt like garbage. One of the soldiers spoke. We came to retrieve the tech from this outpost, not you. Zahara looked between them. Then she understood. They hadn't come to rescue her. They had come to clean up the past. She was a witness, a failure, a shame to their perfect war image. They hadn't come to take her home. They had come to erase her. Zahara stepped back. You're not here for me. No, Vex said calmly. We're here to finish what? War started. Cole raised his weapon now. You'll have to go through me. Vex smiled wider. That was the plan. Sparked. Her back was soaked with sweat. Cole knelt beside her, placing a ration bar near her hand. You did good, he said. I looked like a dying robot, she groaned. He laughed. Better than a dying warrior. She turned her face away. I was a commander, she said. Elite unit. I led soldiers into fire and pulled them out. Now I can't even walk 5 steps without falling. You're still that same commander, Cole said softly. No, I'm not. He looked at her quietly, then stood and walked to the doorway. Just before leaving, he added, then prove me wrong. Later that night, Zahara couldn't sleep, not because of the pain, but because, for the first time, she didn't feel alone. She thought about the things Cole had said, the way he fought the AI for her, the way he patched her wounds, built her legs, taught her to walk again. Why would a human do all this? Valtari law said the weak should be left behind, but Cole didn't follow that law. He followed something else. Something harder to understand, something warmer. She closed her eyes, whispering to the dark ceiling. What kind of soldier are you, human? Blood dripped from her palm, not her own. Zahara stood over the body of the Valtari soldier who had tried to shoot Cole. Her metal leg was bent. At the knee, the impact dented, but she had moved faster than any of them expected. She had chosen, not them. Not her old commander. She had chosen him. Cole leaned against the wall, shoulder burned from a pulse shot. Remind me. Not to get on your bad side. Zahara didn't smile. Not yet. Commander Vex stepped forward, weapon raised. Traitor. He hissed. You'd protect a human over your own kind? Zahara's voice was like steel. You stopped being my kind when you left me to die. Behind her, sparks flew as another old power conduit blew out. The outpost trembled slightly. The ancient systems had awakened when the AI was reactivated. And now the place was growing unstable. Cole handed Zahara a plasma blade salvaged from the old weapons locker. She stared at it, then looked at her shaking hand. She had trained for war. Elite troops. Worn medals, but this fight wasn't for her rank. This fight was for herself. Vex lunged first. Blaster fire lit up the dark corridor. Cole ducked and returned fire, covering Zahara's right side. Zahara moved like a storm, her prosthetic legs clicking as she shifted weight and brought the blade down, striking armor, cracking metal. She was no longer crawling in the dirt. She was standing. Fighting. And this time, she wasn't alone. The fight was brutal. One by one, the squad fell. They had come expecting a broken body and a tired soldier. What they found instead was a warrior reborn. As smoke filled the room, Zahara pinned Vex to the wall. Finish it, he spat. Prove you're one of them. Now Zahara raised the blade, then stopped. No, she said. I'm not one of you, and I'm not one of them. I'm just me. She turned her back on him. Cole lowered his weapon too. The outpost began to shake harder now. The ISA voice returned. Power failure. Self-destruct sequence active. Zahara limped toward Cole. We have to leave, now.